Okay guys, as you can see, I just got out of cinema right there, so I went to go and see none other than this film called Sergeant Stubby, an American hero, or as it's been retitled here, Sergeant Stubby, an unlikely hero. What does it matter what the title is though? What matters is how for me if you watch it. It turns out the movie was actually pretty decent, but we're going to get into that later on in the video. But the best thing about it is that it correlates to this video quite nicely, because today is the 100th anniversary to the end of the First World War, so Remembrance Day, or more you could say. So to celebrate that, celebrate the 100th anniversary to Remembrance Day, I have a nice little Remembrance Day special for you guys. So it's going to start off with this quick vlog right here. Then we're going to look at one of my favourite war poems, accompanied by one of my favourite war poets. Like, it's kind of obvious that a war poet would write a poem about war, right? But anyway, and then we're going to Skylanderify some things right here and do some skits for you guys. So, sure, I hope you enjoy the premiere. But without further ado, let's move on to the next clip. I'm getting some nice shots from here. There's a nice little poppy bunting right there up on the town hall with the nice flags and everything, kind of hiding behind this tree branch right there over more. But yeah, what's so great about this is, as you can see over there, they have a big TV, they call it, and that's really awesome that they always have stuff like that for big events like this, because this is Remembrance Day, for the 100th anniversary of Remembrance Day even. And of course for Stockman as well. Stockman? Stockman.
We have about 10 minutes to spare.
But yeah, that's awesome. Over more. Okay, I did take a quick stop at CEX to go and check out the Skylanders, but as you can see, they don't have much apart from, a Superchargers PlayStation 3 starter pack, which would have been awesome if it was on PS4. If it was on PS4, I would have jumped straight on that, but unfortunately, it is not. But yeah, there's that. Over more. Okay guys, I did just cook myself a lovely, quick, delicious macadamia, and I did actually pick something up from CEX. You can't really see it too well on there, but basically, if I can actually stop the rattling ends, I got myself another Cars 2 video game. I played this a lot when I was younger, and I specifically remember really enjoying it, even more than a movie in fact. But anyway, yeah, I got it for Xbox 360 because I thought, why not? Okay guys, as you can see, it's still disabling parts of the fair. That's the Magic Mouse up there, which is basically the only roller coaster my mum has ever to be willing to go on. But yeah, as you can see, this is simply just packing up the track, just taking it apart and loading it in the truck over more. Pretty cool, I'd say. It's just as fun to watch the fair be built up and then broken back down again as it is to actually, go on with the fair. But regardless, I'll see you guys in the next clip. You guys, I am insane. How am I insane? Well, I'm eating ice cream on a flipping cool ass day. I mean, it is so cold outside, and yet I'm eating this outside anyway because I wanted to. I might be even more freezing for it, but I wanted to, so I have. Look at the scope of that thing. So now not only have you seen the Sockman, that's iconic to Loughborough, but you've also seen the Carillion, that's iconic to us as well. It's a very important landmark for our town. In fact, if anyone said to you Loughborough, this is no doubt what you'd think of. But either way, the main significance this has in this particular quick vlog right here is the fact that it's a World War II memorial building. So sure, while it's World War II based and not necessarily about World War I, it's still a World War memorial building all the more, so it has a significance. And not to mention, there's also plenty of poppies over there. Once I zoom in, you can see such things. So yeah, poppies here, poppies there, poppies here, poppies there, poppies basically everywhere. Bent double, like old beggars under sacks, knock-kneed, coffin like hags, we cursed through sludge, till on haunting flares we turned our backs, and towards our distant rest began to trudge. Men marched asleep, many had lost their boots, but limped on, bloodshot, all went lame, all blind, drunk with fatigue, death, even to the hoots of gas shells, dropping softly behind. Gas, gas, quick boys, and ecstasy a-fumbling, fitting for clumsy helmets just in time, but someone still was yelling out and stumbling, and floundering like a man in fire or lime, dim through the misty panes and thick green light, as under a green sea I saw him drowning. In all my dreams before my helpless sight, he plunges at me, guttering, choking, drowning. If in some smothering dreams, you could 2 pace behind the wagon that we flung him, and watched for white eyes withering in his face, his hanging face like a devil sick of sin. If you could hear at every jolt, the blood came gargling from the froth-corrupted lungs, obscene as cancer, bitter as the cud of vile, incurable sores on innocent tongues. My friend, you would not tell with such high zest. To children ardent for some desperate glory, the old lie, dulce decorum est, pro patria mori. Man, that is an incredibly sad poem. It details the brutality and harshness of war. Wilfred Owen, who wrote this poem, was a commander in the war, so he was going to and fro war and everything, but basically he had to watch his own men die as they walked into battle. Even their boots were giving them pain because they were outworn through the awful conditions that these soldiers lived in through war. And so basically, around this time, a popular poet was whoever wrote The Soldier. I forgot his name, my apologies for that, but basically they were all honouring war, saying how great war was, and that it was an honour to that it was sweet and honourable even to die for your country. And Wilfred Owen ironically died 1 week before the end of the war. What a tragedy indeed. But basically he wrote this poem to snuff out what that which those poems were saying. Dulce decorum est, pro patria mori basically translates to it's sweet and honourable to die for your country. And before that comes the old lie, showing us that the author of this poem, Wilfred Owen, knew exactly what he was writing, knew the pain that people would feel while reading it. But that was the whole idea behind it. The whole idea was to raise the true ideals behind war, the pain, the suffering, the needlessness of it, instead of raising all these lies that it's sweet and honourable to die for your country in war. So yeah, that is one of my favourite war poems. It's one of the ones that I had to study for my GCSE, and I'm definitely proud that I did so, because it's just such a great poem despite how brutal and how sad it is. But now that we've looked at this poem, let's move on in the video. Dum-dum-dee-dum-dum, ooh, Troidio.
We trolls shall defend our floating island, whatever the cost may be. We shall fight on the field. We shall fight on the beaches. Well, we don't really have any beaches. Maybe we should all just go somewhere with beaches instead.
Oh my gosh, Boomer, I cannot believe you just let those Marbu characters die. Hey, I was too busy listening to Churchill's awesome World War I speech. Dude, wrong World War. Wait, seriously? Yeah. Winston Churchill was part of the Second World War. But regardless, how dare you still let those soldiers die? That will not be let off the hook for. Well, some soldiers must sacrifice themselves in the heat of battle. Like Stinker Mage, if you've ever heard of him. No, I have not. Well, you better go and speak to him about it, because he is the wisest war troll of them all. Shut up! Thank you. Hey, are you this Stink Major that this guy, this friend of mine even called Boomer, keeps talking about? I am indeed. Oh, great. So, what's your story? My story? Yeah, your story about the great Skylanders War and everything. I mean, like, at the end of the day, it is Remembrance Day and everything. Oh, that story. That story still traumatizes me to this day, but I suppose that young kids like you do need to know the truth of the sacrifice and valor needed to face battle. That's still not the story yet, dude. Okay, fine, just give me chance. It started with an enchilada. Did you steal that from Flynn? Shush! It's very integral to the story. You see, I ate this enchilada, and then that gave me visions of my future. Okay, fine, I'll cut to the chase. So I was training under a regimen for the dark side of the Great Skylanders War. I know that gives me shame to say such things, but basically from there, a gas attack was incoming, and so I was the only one who was able to warn everyone in time, for I was a spy on the opposing side, the light side of the fight. And thanks to my bravery and courage within a battle, saving everyone from that so-called gas attack, I was promoted to the Stink Major of a certain battalion of trolls. But the thing was that after serving the dark side for many years, I discovered that it was not the team that I wanted to fight for, since it was shrouded in darkness and filled to the brim of corruption. And so I dispatched from the dark side of the fight to go and help the light side of the fight, especially when I learnt of a new gas that the dark side was creating. So I went to go and warn the light side indeed, and from there the light side appointed me Stink Major of their own unique battalion, trolls which did not serve the darkness but instead served the light. Unfortunately though, we were charging into battle, and I realised that if we could not stop the enemy there, then they would have gassed the entirety of the light army. So I had to risk my soldiers going into battle to take down their gases. Unfortunately, all of my soldiers died in battle, but their sacrifice is what won us the war, and that, my friend, is why sacrifice is so important. I understand, but is sacrifice so important when all you need to do is listen to a speech rather than engage in battle? Of course it is. Speeches give you motivation and stuff. I bet you from there this boomer you speak of won the battle for you. No, he left immediately. Just watch this. I had to take care of the battle myself. Wait, you mean to tell me that this boomer that you speak of simply went into battle to just listen to the radio and then simply hightailed it out of there, leaving you to push the troll forces back by yourself and acquire that rocket? Basically, yeah. Well, that is a needless sacrifice then. Knew it. So, did you seek out the wise old Stink Major? Yes, I did, and I can agree with you, he was very wise. You know why? I know why, because he's wise. Plus, he likes blowing stuff up, like me. Well, yeah, there's that, but also, he said how wrong you were to leave me behind in battle and sacrifice the soldiers with no good reasoning. Yes, that is very true and very wise of him. Just saying, wait, what? Was that the only reason you seeked him out, to prove yourself right and myself wrong? Basically, yes. Well, shoot, I'm just gonna go blow something up now. But hey, at least it looks like he handled it quite well. I could really give that guy a good fist bumping.
Hey. Well, enough about that right there, because you guys might notice that this was not uploaded on Remembrance Day. Neither was it originally uploaded on Remembrance Day either, because the editing took much longer than I expected, meaning that I wasn't actually able to upload the video until the day after Remembrance Day. So this originally did air on the 12th of November, But since then, I've gone back to re-edit it and stuff, just make it a little bit better so I could re-upload it to this very day. And the main reason why I've had to go back and re-edit it and stuff is because I didn't actually notice until after I uploaded the footage and then deleted it afterwards, was the fact that I never actually talked about Sergeant Stubby, which goes against my promise I made at literally the first minute into the video. So how can I go and end off this video without doing such a thing? So, without further ado, when it comes to the movie at hand, that being Sergeant Stubby, An Unlikely Hero, basically, I will admit, for its target demographic, which is very, very young children, it gets away with a lot. It has a lot of emotion and investment into it. So some of its characters might be bland and generic, but for characters you really care about, you really do care about, because they are really great at creating layers for the Three Musketeers in particular, and the chemistry of one another of those Three Musketeers is excellent as well. So above all, there was much more depth and character development than I was expecting, and that was nice to see. And above all, this film can also get very violent and very brutal, again, especially for its target audience. So, because of that brutality and violence, it's very hard to watch at times, very emotional, and so I've got to say, when it comes to animated films, this is one of those animated films which, sure, whilst it's for kids, it does it right still. But anyways, this was actually made by an animation studio that I wasn't aware of before, called Fun Academy Pictures. So this was a very low budgeted film, and you can kind of tell in the animation, as the animation isn't that great. But above all, it's an invested in enough story to not keep you from falling asleep halfway through it, and it's a great way to teach children of under 5 years old their first experiences of history and war and stuff, because of course they aren't going to experience war themselves, but what I mean by that is them being educated on the war, mind you. But regardless, now with my thoughts of that film out of the way, it is now righteous for us to end the video. So thanks so much as always for watching, guys, and I'll be seeing you in the next one, but until then, peace.